welcome back on board. And if you just tune in, just so you know, this is the program Meet the Love Doctor, which comes up every Saturdays as from 7:30 p.m., where we get to talk love and relationship issues. Not just love and relationship issues, but these topics of discussions that we always have cuts across, but our focus stands on love and relationship, especially those issues that people face in their relationships day in, day out, and they find it difficult to handle. Yeah, you can ask your questions. You can, maybe there's a situation that you've been going through and you want to find out how you can handle this. Yes, you can always write us. And like I told you, with me, of course, is the Love Doctor himself. Good evening.
Good evening. You said it was Miss or Mrs. Rita? Oh, okay, it's Miss. Okay, good evening, Miss Rita. Here again, Meet the Love Doctor. I am Lefford Divine, aka the Love Doctor. Remember, building emotional intelligence and promoting mental health is the goal. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have a wonderful time.
And yes, like I also told you, I have an amazing personality with me in the studio, Black Beauty. When they're talking about your black is beautiful, they're referring to Ebote Nadia, Cameroonian actress, a very renowned one for that matter. I mean, spectacular. It's beautiful having you on board this evening.
Thank you so much. It's an honor being here.
Welcome on board. Welcome to High TV. Have you ever been here before?
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay. All right.
I think that was when the location was at Bonduma.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've been here. I think twice.
Okay.
Yes.
But on a different phase, you've not been here to talk about matters of the heart.
No.
Okay. Welcome on board. We're going to be talking matters of the heart today. And on today's topic of discussion, can somebody just guess? I believe those who already sent the flights already like, Rita, we know this thing now. We know this topic of discussion. But what is our topic of discussion today? Identifying toxic partners and breaking the circles. Identifying toxic partners and breaking the circles. Of course, the circles. Of course, there are different types of toxic relationships, and there are different ways that people, things, or I should say behaviors that they do, and they don't even know that it's toxic. On today's edition, we are going to be finding out what it is. What are these toxic, behaviors? Maybe you're in one and you don't know about it. It's high time we identify and also break those circles. So our topic of discussion today is identifying toxic partners and breaking the circles. The number is right there on your screen. Don't think it's too early to start asking your questions. If one thing that just touches you, touch that number, dial it, save it, and send your contributions. We are currently streaming live on our YouTube channel, and also you can send us a text message or a WhatsApp SMS. I will be glad to know that you are tuned onto the program. And beginning with what we have for you today. So first of all, what are we going to be when it comes to when somebody hears the word toxic relationship, what defines a toxic relationship? And there's no other person to answer that question except the Love Doctor himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't usually, definitions are always very tricky for me.
Okay.
Because I always have a way I approach these things.
Mm-hmm.
Because generally, life is not really black or white.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons also why you need one-on-one or counseling. And I always love when people think just picking up general things can always work.
Okay.
But I think one of the essence of such programs is we will try to dissect these things and make you see things, have an overview of certain things.
All right.
Let me explain what I'm trying to say. There's a lot about toxicity that could come with, the characteristics of toxic relationship.
Okay.
But you will discover that we are really talking about basically a toxic relationship. Let's forget about the grammar. We're just talking about a relationship that is not beneficial to one or both of the partners for whatever reason.
Okay.
When we're growing up, there was something in biology where they said there's a parasitic, there's a parasite, for example.
Yeah.
They say a parasite feeds from the host while destroying the host.
All right.
That's a toxic relationship where one or both persons are you remember the word partner. Whatever it is, that word defines a lot. Partnership means I bring something to the table, you bring something to the table, and we both know our roles and we all both know our benefits.
True.
So, not to complicate it, we will be diving into all the different kinds of toxicity and everything. But since we started a little bit, let me just start shaking the tables at once.
Okay.
There is something about toxicity that is quite relative.
All right.
And I always have a problem because when people discuss these topics, everybody becomes one, an expert. Two, everybody becomes the non-toxic person.
Okay.
And three, everybody wants to start pointing fingers at toxicity without first reflecting. So let me start with this. First of all, if we talk about toxicity, it can be in any relationship.
All right.
Not just boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay.
For example, boss employee relationship could be toxic. Brother, sister, father, siblings, and all of that. Parent,
relatives
guardians,
as a whole, and all the like.
But there is something that I want to highlight.
Okay.
Let me use an example. I have an ex who is a magistrate.
All right.
Right now.
All right.
I remember along the line when she went to.
You can always come in, Ms. Nadia, if you have a question. Okay.
When she had, when she went to, I think, is it Enam? Emia, is it Emia or Enam?
It's Enam.
It's one of them, I think.
It's Enam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So when she went to Enam and everything, I remember we used to. So when we began to discuss, though I had also taken a different path. So along the line, but we always still discuss once in a while.
Okay.
But I discovered that she became a little bit more guarded in our discussions.
Reserved.
In our discussions.
All right.
And I understood exactly why. Now she was entering a particular field where it was not any kind of thing.
Okay.
That even what you do can bite you later on. You know where I'm getting to with this. There are many times in the, like, let me see, in American politics, you will see people come and meet somebody and say, you will see somebody begins to plan of becoming a governor, a statesman from small, and begins to watch what they do.
Okay.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I'm getting.
Now, and while they are watching what they do, whether you like it or not, if you're coming into their life and you don't follow that principles, there are two things. They will always try to make you to follow these new principles or not.
Okay.
Are you, for example, if I'm heading to the presidency, for example, and I'm dating you, and you like all the clubbing and all of those things, it's easy for me to say, hey, this is not it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because automatically somebody can start shouting now, hey, that's controlling.
Yeah.
That's one of the characteristics of toxicity. Automatic. Hey, that's manipulative.
Controlling partner.
Yes, manipulative.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just trying to point these things out because, okay, for example, if you go and be to the police school at Mutengene here, they set the rules very straight. As a lady, whether you're a witch, the first thing will happen is that they'll shave your hair. They don't care how many years you have kept that hair or whatever it is. They set the rules, they set the standards, and you see they set to about you getting up early and everything. If we see marriage also as an institution and all of this, I want us to be very clear about certain things because most great leaders, for example, have narcissistic behaviors.
All right.
The problem is it's to what degree?
Okay.
Because there's a level of belief in self that is required to advance.
True.
And all of that. So I always like to bring all of this balance because let somebody not just immediately see something and start crying foul. Oh, you are this. Especially when people don't want to change, when people don't want to adapt. Because where is the root? Where is the place of all of this? Adaptability.
True.
Submission. Okay. All of this comes in because relationship is not just black or white. But when we don't understand this, it's easy to also start crying foul. This could be toxic, this should be toxic. So I think in our discussions, we'll be looking at all of this. We're going to look at it in a panoramic view and begin to really see what could really, where that line of toxicity could really be drawn. And other factors.
True. All right. I just love the fact that today we are not just both of us in the studio. We are with someone. I believe that your exposure in the Cameroonian film industry, I think your latest movie, if I'm not mistaken, should be Kuva.
Yes.
Okay. That means I got my facts right.
The
Okay.
latest that is out.
That is out. Okay.
Yes.
Not there's still some cooking behind.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's My Gender, My Pain that I
of course.
really, I think we even have it one time here. I don't know if it's still in
Yes.
the
They always
showed it.
play it.
Okay. All right. That means you're watching.
Yes.
All right.
I get people telling me.
Okay,
Yes, I
amazing.
get it.
All right, so with your exposure and also, I believe that this issue of love and relationship, I mean, it's almost, affecting everyone. I've just heard from the love doctor himself. To you, what do you think? How can you say? How can you identify, or how do you define a toxic relationship? Have you ever been in one before? That bread like that. That bread is
Rita.
suspicious.
Rita, let's go down to the topic.
All right.
I grew around it
Okay.
to an extent.
All right.
So I have a lot of experience with it.
Okay.
So it's far more just than a topic. It's a tussle. It's something that is out there. And the truth is, people don't really talk about it.
Okay.
When you come out to talk about it, it's like, you have all these criticisms, all this bullying,
Yeah.
But people even die.
Okay.
You see, with that, people keep quiet and they die with it. So, for me, it is to a certain degree, because if you want to look like when he was talking about controlling,
Yeah.
truth is there must be some certain level of controlling in a relationship.
In a relationship, true, very true.
But to what degree?
Mm-hmm.
You see, when you feel attacked,
Mm-hmm.
when you feel misunderstood
Yeah.
over and over,
Yeah.
attack could be physically,
Yeah.
mentally, like psychologically, For me, it is when you constantly feel attacked
Mm-hmm.
by the opposite partner, be it whatever you do or whatever you say, there's that feeling of like not being happy. You're so unhappy. There's this spark whenever you're, thinking about your partner or you're going to meet your partner. You have this glow, this excitement. But with you, it's more of hell again.
I'm going to be questioned again.
Your inner person is so downcasted.
Yeah.
That is toxic.
True.
That is, and people actually don't speak up, particularly the women. Because they always feel like, okay, if you talk, it's like you can't hold a man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep a man down.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
True.
If a man doesn't want to be kept, he can't be kept, no matter what you do. That is what they're forgetting.
Yeah, you can't, like the saying goes, you want to change a man. Oh, changing a man is like
Okay.
It's like going to the farm. You have machete, but you're expecting that the farm will get cleared without you walking. Don't ask me. Life is like.
Yeah,
I think the love doctor has something to say.
Yeah, I just like to respond to what she said.
Okay.
Most of the times,
Yeah.
I like to help people be empowered,
All right.
not just to sympathize with them.
Okay.
And that's why sometimes I can come controversial, and I might even sometimes come as someone who is not
Who doesn't have empathy?
yes,
Okay.
yes, who lacks empathy.
Yeah.
But you see, the more we just sympathize with situations, I
Yeah.
think I had a whole show where we're also talking about this toxicity, and not just toxicity, abuse,
Okay.
and a lot of other things,
Okay.
abuse and everything. And every time we approach this topic,
Yeah.
I always like to approach it from the point of us realizing that you can never really help anybody who does not want to be helped.
True.
One. Two, we can only empower them, right?
Yeah.
That it will be better to empower them to be able to take their destiny into their hands. This is always where I'm coming from. Not because I don't empathize with what is happening to you.
Yeah.
Because I always approach it like, first, I always say that a relationship that you entered into, you did not consult us before entering into it. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, I get your point. You're talking now from a counselor's point.
Yes, and that's what I will always be that.
Yeah.
Because I want to help you, and not just because I know a lot of time women especially like that they should just be understood, whether you help them or not. No.
They even want you to figure out what's going on.
So this is it.
Yeah.
You got into a relationship.
Okay.
First thing is whether you like it or not, you are part of the problem. And until we understand this, are you understanding me?
I get you.
It means your problem started from your choice.
Yeah.
And until you are able to tell that person who is there that it started from your choice, that does not mean we are supporting abuse.
Yeah.
That does not mean we are supporting what has happened to you. But if you don't realize that it began with the choice you made or your choices in life, for example, there are different reasons why people have not left abuses. They know it's abusive.
Yeah, they know.
They know. I know people who will tell me very clearly, this is abusive, the man beats me, but I can't leave because of my children. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? This, I'm not just talking about watching movies and pity people. I have been able to counsel people for over 10 years, and I would tell you that there are people who have been beaten. There are people that you even advise them and tell them stay away from that person, and they go back. You get it?
Yeah.
So we must be able to look at it in the light of this is the reality. And then true, some people are not even aware.
Yeah. They don't even know that they are in a toxic relationship.
Yes, some people don't know that this is toxic to themselves. And a lot of that, it comes also because of other factors. Maybe lack of self-awareness, complexes, inferiority complexes. It comes from what we also call something called the tyranny of the familiar. A lot of times it is weird and crazy that children who grew up in abusive families, that means a lady who grew up and saw the father beat the mom over and over,
the same thing.
most often than not go and enter a relationship with an abusive boy. It's weird. That means psychology has not been able to explain it. They call it the tyranny of the familiar. It means you easily roll with the familiar. There are many children that grew up and did not like smoking, but because they saw their dad smoking, you see, it's easy for them to accommodate a smoker. So what I wanted to talk about was, like she mentioned, that feeling that you think about your partner, and it's you don't feel happy. You know, sometimes you're even afraid. You feel tense. You're like, what will come up again? So my greatest challenge is, why the hell are you still going there?
They'll change.
Complicated.
That was the excuse. They'll change.
Hoping. I think we should use one of the biggest examples that the biggest example that we have in the world today, the death of the gospel artist Osinachi.
Okay.
I mean, that's someone who preaches to people, sings. I bet you maybe people are even going to her and telling her their own problems, and she's like, trying to console them, but you are in the same pot of soup and you can't help yourself. Probably she was praying like, okay, just the same advice that I'm giving these people is going to change and all of that. Maybe she was also hoping that her husband is going to change. But the question is, do toxic partners ever change? Does a toxic person...
I don't know. She said she has seen it. Let's ask her.
Does a toxic person ever change?
To your experience?
Yeah.
For me, it varies.
Okay.
Some people, there is a reason. Just like you say, some people grow up with their parents being abusive. Maybe it's just that trauma.
Okay.
Some people would need an instance that will make them
change
wake up from that trauma.
Okay.
They will need... I've seen it.
Okay. Yes. You're trying to tell me that you've seen a toxic person change.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not like the person was born that way. There I always say, when somebody is bad, you're bad. There's that element of badness. You just need a situation to make it pop out.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody that's influenced by a certain situation, it's easier for that person to change.
True.
And for that person to change, that person will need a reality check.
Yeah.
That reality check might come out through maybe another grave situation that maybe the person feared, or something that it was his biggest
fear,
regret, or expectations. Sometimes some people, when you meet, my teacher always tells me this thing called the bone of my bones, the flesh of my flesh. It's so real.
The limb of my limb.
He said it's so real. When you go and take the bone of your leg, it will not go
with the bone of your arm.
If you take the bone of your flesh, you take the bone of your leg, mix it with the bone of your stomach, it will not go. It will break you. So it has to match. If you meet your pair, I always say, if you meet that one for you, everything will work out just right. They might not be perfect, because I don't think there's a perfect.
There's no perfect one.
It doesn't mean that because people are not perfect, they have their shortcomings and everything. So it doesn't mean when somebody shows you their bad side, or brings out an element that you don't like, it means they're all toxic. We all have that side in us. But now when we meet that person that's for us, everything will come into place. It will be simpler. They will respect boundaries. When they bring up a character that you don't like, you say, oh, I don't like this, you did this, and they'll change. You'll see a change. But it becomes toxic when they don't actually care, and they even repeat it and do it even with a more,
and then they are so innocent to say sorry. You feel like there was a spirit in them when they were doing all of that.
So,
oh my goodness. We're moving forward. I mean, we're still talking about toxic partners, identifying toxic partners and breaking the circles. That's our talking point for today. The number is right there on your screen. We are currently streaming live on our YouTube channel, so you can click if you're about, maybe your cable is having issues. Just type Hi TV Cameroon on YouTube, Meet the Love Doctor, and you find the program there ongoing live. Do well to send in your contributions and tell us where you're watching us from. It's going to be a pleasure to know that experience of yours, or that question that you want to ask us here. So moving forward now, we might just be talking about all of this, but I think the Love Doctor, how can someone know if they are the toxic one in the relationship? Because imagine the person who is the toxic one complaining that another person is toxic, whereas the person is not toxic. It's complicated. How can you even know that you're the toxic one in the relationship?
I mentioned something here about awareness. I think she has also said something that you get to a point of consciousness. You see, life is about consciousness.
True.
Our different exploits and even our approach to life is just the level of our consciousness. When you just say somebody's behaving like an animal, it's just because the person has remained at a very base consciousness of life. So it just lives by instinct. But the more you are evolving and you're going up, you're conscious more and more. Now, we can highlight some points, but like we said, at what point? At what line? For example, jealousy could be a pointer of a toxic relationship. But now, what degree of jealousy? Because generally, somebody, to keep something well, they even use the word keeping it jealously. But jealousy, are you understanding me? But we are dealing with people here. We're dealing with people. Now, toxicity that getting to the point where your jealousy, you discover that your jealousy gets to controlling. Your jealousy gets to very funny,
unnecessary complaints, questions.
You get to the point where you forget that that's a human being with will, with choices, with a life. I always laugh. I always said, especially to ladies who always say that they want the man to make your whole world. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Where are we going to
How can a man be raised up for 20-something years, in another place, in another life with the mindset, with whatever he's building, he has a vision, everything, and then you come in, and all of a sudden you want everything about that person's life to rotate around you. You see, that's some kind of toxicity.
Your world.
Yes, that's a kind of toxicity, and it goes both ways. It's not just girls, please. Even guys do that. They come in, and where are you now? You don't pick up the phone when they're calling you.
Who are you talking to?
They're texting. Yeah, if you don't reply within 30 seconds of the time that they text.
Even if you're cursing, they will reply.
There is a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That is highlighted by this. There is also the controlling the control in a relationship. You see, the thing is this: psychologically, human beings were not designed to be controlled.
True.
That's why even God, with his over control of the universe, still gives us will. It means there is an area of freedom that every human being must have to express themselves and be who they were made to be. Controlling the person's, in fact, controlling the person's belief system. You want to control the person's, sometimes if it comes to religious beliefs, you try to control, a lot of this, and this comes to something she said, which is actually what I've been trying to communicate and which I will land on. On that fact that you will discover that sometimes toxicity in relationships is not because the person really wanted to destroy you, or like the person is coming like, I will come and destroy your life.
After your life.
Yes. A lot of time it's that mismatch which she described, where the bone of the leg, you are struggling to make it fit in the hand, or you are making it to fit as one of the ribs.
It cannot work.
Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So you would discover that it can hurt when it's not in the right position. So most of the time, and this is where my greatest concern is, because if you don't work on yourself, no matter how something is toxic, one, you might not see it. Two, you might not find a way to go out. Three, you might not have the courage to, and all of that. That's why my concern is always on individuals. Even when I do counseling, I always tell the person, look, I am not here to agree with you whether the other person was wrong or not. That's not just my point. It's not just for me to agree. My point is this: let's assume this other person will never change with what you're complaining about.
What will you do?
What would you do? Because I'm not advising but that person. You cannot come and talk to me about something that's happening to you, and the other person is not here, and you want me to trash, or you want me to address a person that is not there. So I'm more concerned about every individual who is watching this right now, whether you are looking at your relationship to see this toxic behavior, and you might even discover that you might be the one who is having that behavior. And sometimes, for example, some people just discover that this person, it might be a past experience. Yes, because some people, jealousy might come from a past experience, a cheating experience. A cheating experience can come from that present relationship or a past relationship. Something might have changed. It might come from what somebody did to you before. You heard the thing that you heard how a girl took blade.
That's in my head. Like, who does that?
Took blade.
You heard about the situation?
Child.
Yes. I did.
Came to somebody's child. And whatever she did there, in the name, she did surgery.
It's really surgery. She's a surgeon.
Now listen, in the name of the man is cheating.
It's cheating.
Are we condoning cheating?
No.
But you see, the question is, now she has gotten, it's now worse. She's now a fugitive. You have done worse than what you think you were trying to fight. Are you getting me? Which, if the person had this kind of education we're trying to bring, you would discover that what? Why that relationship? Let's assume that relationship was toxic.
Of course, that's already a valid example.
See the problem.
To say that
See
it
the
was
problem.
toxic.
No.
Who would even think of something like that?
You are still not getting it.
Okay.
If this thing had not happened to this girl, right? Who would we have said is in a toxic relationship?
The guy.
The lady,
because of cheating.
Exactly. If this lady came here and told her story. This, you see, this is why I always try to. This way, my concerns always come with narratives.
Okay.
If this lady came here, and we gave her the mic, I said, "Tell your story." She'll tell you about the time she saw her boyfriend. Yes, she'll tell you her truth. She'll tell you about the time that she saw the boyfriend
Cheats.
with another boy. She'll tell you about the amount of messages she has caught. She will tell you about the other time that she saw him where. She'll tell you about the girls who have caught her, and you will be like, "That's a toxic relationship."
Mama, you're suffering.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Now, but see the point. Had we empowered her, right, to have the ability to walk away from such a relationship, because this thing could have been what has turned her to that monster.
True.
I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Because there are things in you that you don't yet know that you can do until circumstances bring out. People have done things that they never imagined that they could do. No, it is true. You see, this thing had no gay bone. You understand? I have seen people get all crazy. When you see people drink Parazone, when you see people they are drinking Ojave, you have we not heard how many people have we heard kill themselves in this same town?
It's
in other towns. And it has not only happened in Cameroon, it has happened abroad.
Yeah.
Did we not see the lady who jumped from the
building?
The building. We have seen all the men also jump from building.
The ones that are killing the other partners, not just themselves.
I think
killing
it's
the other
also
partners
the
as well.
mentality.
Okay.
Toxicity in relationship. I think it's also the mentality, because some people have it in their mind. You know, not nobody is irreproachable.
Yeah.
Some people have it in their mind that if they leave this relationship where this man probably is verbally abusive, or this lady, because it's not just the men, the women too. They bring an element of toxic in a relationship.
When it comes to abuse, women are more abusive than men. Topic for another time.
I reserve my comments on
that.
I
have the proof.
Okay. Women are more abusive. Anyway, just ride on, please.
Yes, I would say probably it's a mentality, like saying, okay, if I leave this person who is this way, how sure am I that if I go to this other person,
it will not be the same?
It will not be the same, or even worse.
Okay.
So most of the time, it's that mentality that okay, let me stick with this one. Nobody's perfect. If I go out there, I will meet somebody else.
It's better than the angel you don't know. Those kind of philosophies.
So
yes, now you get my point. This is what my general work comes from. This is the reality that I know that makes me approach this differently. What she said is very perfect.
True.
It is the mentality of these individuals that makes them either accommodate toxicity or hand out the toxicity.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
You.
Yes. Okay. Now, when it is like this, you will discover that until we begin, when I talk about empowering, we are talking about changing the mindset.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
For example, had you not gone and had 3 children with a man who had not paid your bride price, and now you are stuck, and you are looking, would it have not been easier to walk away from a relationship while crying and you are alone?
True.
Than crying with 3 children and going out with?
It would have been better.
Are you getting my point? So if we don't begin to educate ourselves and have these conversations, these real conversations, because the mindset is just like the mindset today of baby mamas and stuff.
Yeah.
Where the girls are going through hell. Yet they are flaunting the matching pajamas and the matching dresses, and they are acting like this is the best thing that ever happened to them, and passing across a wrong message to the upcoming generation who think that it's now okay to just have kids out of wedlock. And when these ladies know how much it has changed the trajectory of their lives and all of that, because we don't have these honest conversations.
Yeah.
So until we begin to start checking those mindsets, not only that, there are also different mindsets. Some women take the abuse because of the financial gain.
Yes, that's one of the. I think that's one of the biggest aspects.
Yes, because of the financial gain. I've seen guys say, "By luck, that girl will come back." Are you understanding what I'm saying? No, he said it. He said, "By luck, who will pay that house?" Are you getting? Who will pay that house? You understand?
Yeah.
The financial gain. So if we don't start having this kind of conversation, these are the kind of problem we're going to have because how the person is thinking. Now, this narrative of when girls believe that to not be married is a curse. That's why they are running from church to church. I'm talking societal pressure.
Yeah.
Parental pressure. I know people that the families, mommy, if you know I'm born the pikin can give me. You know, all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Until we start changing the way we think who says that I made a statement the other day in my event in Douala. I said, marriage is not the purpose of life. That's not the purpose of life. No.
Okay.
So we must take this thing very serious. Imagine, I remember one time when I was still in the university, this guy was beating this girl.
Okay.
From UB Junction, right down to Dirty's house.
Yeah.
Dragging her hair, took her to the house. And people were just watching, at that point in time, you are just mind your business and stuff. Then later that evening, around 8, 9, when I was going out, I saw these two people feeding each other fish. Somewhere down that
feeding each other.
Only people they're underground. That's a place of
Chocolate
old. Yeah, down. You go after Chocolate City, you go down. The ground was down. We used to see the ground until they reach at the road.
Yes.
Yeah. It is crazy how these things are. It will shock you that there are girls who believe that if a boy does not hit them, the boy does not love them.
People from the French side.
Thank you for saying it. I do really want to say it before it seems like I am the one. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. They feel like if their partners don't beat them,
They don't feel love.
They don't feel love.
It's like
They know
they
that-
don't take their things to heart.
No.
They don't.
It means that you don't care. You don't care enough.
yeah, they don't.
You get it.
Yeah.
Some even willingly taunt you to see
get to that
how
point.
far you can go.
Provoke you.
Yeah.
So don't you see that? That's why I said this toxicity and everything. While we are drawing this, explaining these definitions, we must also understand that institutions, for example, vary.
Yeah.
A man who might know where he's going to and understand that a lady's choices might affect that institution.
Yeah.
My get up said, no. You discover that. First, I guess I've discovered that this boy, like a club, and you so, that
You are
if
club
big
of 5 and
impasse
6.
where you never vibe.
You are the life of the party.
Now it's an issue.
Yeah.
There are also guys who can get uncomfortable with your friends, and they say, "Look, I don't like this. I don't like that." Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
Now you will see that there is a line to it. It is tricky. It is tricky because sometimes isolation is another one.
Yeah.
Isolation is another way of toxicity where this partner comes in and isolates you from family, from friends, so that
You don't
they are
like everybody
completely-
around that comes.
Yes,
I mean,
that they are completely in charge of your life.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But now this is also tricky because truly the person's friends might not like you. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to
I
say.
get you.
But you see, isolation is another trick for this thing to happen where you are isolated so that they can actually control and manipulate
True.
and all of that.
True.
But also, just because you are surrounded with people, you can also be surrounded with people who are not to the best of your advantage. I'm just trying to bring a balance to
True.
this. So, but we are pointing out that
Yeah.
these are some of the characteristics.
Yeah.
And then one of the characteristics which everybody knows. Let me just mention this maybe
Yeah.
before we go on break.
Okay.
Is the abuse, which she mentioned. And I can boldly say, let's go do the research. First, there are more women than men. True?
Has that been concluded? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can check.
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, the problem with abuse is physical abuse is what is sin.
Verbal abuse is
It's not sin. You see, if you and I quarrel here, no matter the devilish things you tell me, if nobody was there
They won't
and there was no
understand.
record, you just need.
And that even hurts more.
You just need to cry.
I think so.
You just need to cry.
Yeah.
And everybody. But you see, if I give you one dirty slap here now, just one, not two, but just one.
Please don't say it like you want to slap me now.
No, I just
because the dirty sounded like the slap
If I
is
just
coming
give you
after that.
a simple dirty slap.
Yes,
right now,
yes. Don't-
that just takes away the makeup. Just more than I. Now that's enough for you to give a whole narrative.
True.
But what women don't know, the reason why all this narrative of men love their peace is not just because we don't want people to be talking around
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
It's because our work. One time I was talking to some couples.
Yeah.
I said the value of a woman goes beyond just what she does to what she doesn't do.
Okay.
Some people celebrate their wives not just because of what the person is doing, like, oh, bringing money, oh, doing this. No, but also what the person is not doing. Just giving you that room for you to be able to think, to be creative.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means? For you to be, let's say you're a traveling husband, and every time you're traveling, you're wondering, who's my woman? No, just imagine.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why some people get toxic. Show me, always call on video call.
What's the idea?
Show me play with it as you talk. Now who's noise that? Now what do you talk about side there? And these are the realities.
Yeah.
I was solving a case the other time abroad where this man he forwarded me a 31-minute WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp audio. Now what had happened? This lady, the so-called the boy has visited his woman, and they were sitting on the bed.
Okay.
And it shows that after they had spoken on WhatsApp. So as they were there, this woman's hand leans on record on WhatsApp, and it's there. She does not know.
Hey.
1 minute.
And then who sent it?
No, it was just there. You know.
Okay, it was just going.
It was going.
Oh my.
And 31 minutes they were there. Their discussion. The man is right inside the woman's bedroom. And everything. So this anyway. That's
Anyways, it's getting heated. I think it's time for us to catch our bread. I have a few comments here that I'm going to be taking right after we catch our bread, and we are also going to be handling how we can break these circles in a toxic relationship. I mean, you don't need to stay there, you know. It's better to walk away when you're alive than when, they will just come and give you flowers. And these flowers, you're not going to be alive to receive it. It's going to be a bouquet on a grave. And that is not your portion. It's not anybody's portion to begin with. So we're going to catch our breath with this music interlude. And when we come back, we start talking about handling the circles in a toxic relationship. Stay tuned.
The promise. This year, you gon' make that money this year. You go drive that motor this year. God go open new doors this year. This year, thunder go fire that wish man waste done. For your lane, Holy Ghost, stay back. You must accomplish your dreams this year. This year, this year. You gon' make that money this year. You go drive that motor this year. God go open new doors this year. This year, thunder go fire that wish man waste done. For your lane, Holy Ghost, stay back. You must accomplish your dreams this year. One day, now one day, I did tell you, say God, no stop for the meditate. I don't bring good news, make you celebrate. This life for you see so. If you trust the Lord, blessings now follow come. Stay alert, pray again, proclaim again. Stay alert, no the act like my way sabi Jesus, no the fail. Trust in the Lord, the miracles go come your way. This year no fit pass you. Holy angels hold you for up like that sun where they shine very bright. You be the light. I pray say your heart desires materialize. If they like the talk trash, you stay on point. They will don't already lose. You been a priceless jewel. This year no fit pass you by.
This year, go be na mecca honey. This year, you go get that bolo. This year, God go open new doors. This year, this year, this year. Matters are rising, no go crush you down. Holy Ghost, them a matter make way. You must accomplish your dreams this year, this year, this year. Go be na mecca honey. This year, you go get that bolo. This year, God go open new doors. This year, this year, this year. Matters are rising, no go crush you down. Holy Ghost, them a matter make way. You must accomplish your dreams this year, this year. Hey. I don't come again, no. I must talk again, no. Holy Spirit in my mouth, I go talk, prophesy. You must shine, multiply, oh. I know the talk what I don't know. Act song.
You cannot speak something what you don't know.
You must to make am this year stand strong. Christ in me, I don't belong to the Godhead. Strong belong, my past man, when that man I got the man. Now your time, it is written, rest assured. This now your prime, God is saying it is done. Say a prayer, not the cry, just the time. Now you got miracles, go plenty, everything go happen as I talk. Promises come to pass, I be the sent one. Pete, you go jump and pass, you be the blessed one. We raise the bar, so we higher spirit. I carry the greater one, so stand high like a pyramid.
You gon' make that money this year. You go drive that motor this year. God go open new doors this year. This year, don't I go fire that wish man waste time. For your lane, Holy Ghost stay above. You must accomplish your dreams this year.
This year, go be na Mecca honey this year. You go get that bolo this year. God go open new doors this year. This year, this year. Matters are rising, no go crush you down. Holy Ghost, they my matter make way. You must accomplish your dreams this year. This year, hey.
You gon' make that money this year. You go drive that motor this year. God go open new doors this year. This year.
This year, matters are rising, no go crush you down. Holy Ghost, they my matter make way. You must accomplish your dreams this year. This year, hey.
Hey, Mr. K Mix.
Welcome back, and yes, just so you know, it's getting heated here in the studio. I mean, the comments and the contributions, it's mind-blowing. We're going to be taking your comments in a bit, but as we continue, there's this particular type of abuse that is really hidden. There is the verbal, and then there's the psychology, like, psychological abuse. But I would like us to talk about verbal. I think the love doctor is going to handle the verbal, and our miss here is going to handle the psychology. I think you can better explain that for us. So we're going to start, the love doctor. When we talk of verbal abuse, I think I would channel this to men. They are the ones who, physical is very common for people to see. Oh, he hits my eye. Oh, this is me. I cannot walk. My leg is spinning and all of that. But the things that are said, it's not like when you're fighting with someone, you put on a recorder and people are getting what this person is saying. But it goes in and it goes far. It goes deep. If someone is in, a verbal, abusive, a toxic relationship, how can, they handle this?
There's a very popular passage in scripture.
Okay.
That people know.
All right.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. But that's not all the verse says.
Okay.
The remaining part of that verse says, and any tongue that rises against you, you shall condemn. You see, if the person is talking about a weapon that is fashioned, and immediately he links it with every tongue that rises, so you discover that it means a tongue is a weapon.
Yeah.
It's a weapon.
Yeah.
In fact, do you know that the only in the whole armor of God, the only every other thing protects.
Okay.
Everything protect. Breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, helmet of salvation. The only thing that is used for attack is this, what they call the sword of the spirit, which is discussed what? The word of God. It means the thing for attack, words.
Okay.
I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. And I'm trying to show you now the other side of it. So if these words, and remember that death and life is in the power of the tongue. So to kill is more dangerous with the tongue. Now, this is the thing that many people don't know. Many people think, especially ladies, they don't yet understand the disaster they have caused. When you see a man leave work and first of all passes in his matango house
with his friends, take his forge,
he makes sure he's high
before he goes home,
because he doesn't want to be aware
of the things that
she will say. Because these things can be buried deep. So if they really tell you say you be man picky, you go agree. So if they really count 10 man picky, they start here, so they say hands up man picky, you go pop your hand.
I don't matter if they really talk to them man picky, they can't stand. You too you go can't stand.
You can't stand to be man picky.
Oh my God.
And you know, the worst is they don't only do that to the person. A lot of these women go and do that to the man's children. In fact, when children hate their dad, it's usually their mom's fault. Because I'm telling you,
because she says things, tells them.
The mother is the one who is bonded to a child till adolescence, where they start looking now to their dad now for inspiration. So the truth there is, and you cannot see this because when I have been hurt with those words, there is no way I can take a picture of it. There's no way. And do you know the funniest thing? Let nobody fool you. I'm talking to those men out there. I hear some people come and say, men also cry. Please feel free. If you want to cry, come and cry and hear what these very people who are telling you to cry will tell you. There's a boy who came out to talk about his ex. These are stars. I'm sure you should know it. Two artists who came out talking about the ex.
Is it young time?
Yes, he came out talking about his ex and everything.
And
putting
how
out
the ex
story
was
out there.
doing this and doing
Well,
that.
is it not the very people who came out and said, now who's kind of man picking that they talking to a woman? No, go and check the comment. Go and see.
I think I understand where that one is coming from.
No. If it was a girl who said everything that boy was saying, they would say, Mama, speak your truth. That's your truth. I'm telling you. We see it every day on social media.
I totally agree with you.
If it was a girl who was saying that, people would say, don't tell the girl when everybody's hurting, everybody has their way to vent. Now, this boy is venting, and people are saying, no, be so man picking the behave. So you see, the truth is, there's a way that they expect this gender, because it is a truth, to process and express themselves. And so many men have been living in serious
toxic
relationships where the women have battered them verbally and have brought them to zero. They lost their esteem, they lost their focus, they lost their purpose,
they start doubting themselves,
and it began to affect their work. Because when a man starts going there, it's affecting his work, his focus, and all of these things. And unfortunately, it cannot be seen. So most of the time we always see, and because most of the time now the man, now a lot of time physical abuse is a reaction. So even the Bible says that it is better to go and hide you at the rooftop far than to live in the same house with a woman who knocks.
That statement alone. Okay, so we are moving forward. Now there is this other one that is, I will call it corny. I don't know if I should say it's manipulative, but I think that's the right word. It's really manipulative, and a lot of persons have used this, to hold some people down. Like, there are so many people want to maybe move from a particular point in a relationship, and they cannot move because they know that, hey, this might happen. Miss Nadia, I heard you mention psychology.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a toxic relationship as one of the toxic relationships. Now, how can you better explain that? When we talk of psychology, what do these people go through, or have you ever experienced one, and how can you identify that?
You've just said it, manipulation. Okay. I think that, and I also think psychological abuse is one of the deepest. That means it destroys people a lot. Yeah. Like even how we grew up, psychological abuse, like how we grew up. Most of us grew up hearing some kind of things that has defamed us till date. It has to do with manipulation.
Okay.
For example, you have a partner saying, I will jump off this building now. I will jump and die if you leave me. They are playing with your psychology. You see somebody, you see a partner, or maybe a woman, or maybe the boyfriend or the man is yelling, and he or she runs to the kitchen, takes a knife, cut the wrist.
I'll kill myself.
That's psychology. You hear some kind of words. You hear some kind of words like, it's because of you I'm here, or because I had to be with you. My family is no longer talking with me. I've left everybody. Nobody cares for me because I chose you. Nobody, which it's not usually the case.
Yeah.
You know, or you see somebody saying, like let's go, like, you know, see you, I'm just managing you, I cannot even take you out to my friends, the way you look, I'm not proud of.
Terrible. And then there's this other one. Let me just dive in a little before you continue. There's this other one that I can say it's a little bit, I can say it's manipulative and psychology. Now you're with someone and then this person constantly tells you that, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for you. Have I ever done anything good for you? You know, some kind of words, like they're always looking for that confirmation.
Yeah.
They want you to prove, like they want you to, you know, affirmation.
And it comes to something I've been wanting to say.
Okay.
Insecurities. If you look at the most toxic relationship,
Stem
there is that
from there.
element of insecurity.
A little bit.
90%.
Oh.
Yes, insecurity.
Okay.
That validation. Maybe you are insecure of something about yourself,
And you
you
want
need that
somebody
validation from the
Constantly.
Constantly.
Yes, constantly.
Yes, because it's not only about the validation, it's the constant validation
Yes.
Yeah.
that you need. And in line with that, not only that insecurity, there's also one of the key things about toxic relationship is something
Okay.
also called this codependence. That means a relationship where one person, or you depend solely on the other person, either financially, either validation, as it's been said. You are always having that codependence. That a lot of time, you see, the truth about the matter is, partnership means you are bringing value.
Okay.
If it is not partnership, if I say let's get into a partnership right now, you're an actor or an actress. If I come and say, oh, in this movie, let's come into some partnership, the first question you're asking me is what?
What are you bringing?
What are you bringing? Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
So, okay, I think most of the time people say, okay, look, I think this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do, this is what you do. And I think I can be able to do this. And in line, you will see that I'm doing that, this will be doing. And you see, at the end of the day, that's what partnership is. But when one person solely depends on the other person for everything, you know, that validation, that need, you know, when I shared in the book, my book, Dealing with Feeling Unappreciated in a Relationship, I mentioned some of these things where your ego and your pride, because you know pride is a vanity that requires an audience. You need an audience to be able to manifest it.
Yeah.
Yes, all of these things, when you are looking for, you see, everybody likes appreciation.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But if you don't know who you are, I can tell you this. Men have the tendency to kill their saviors. It means you can be saving men. That's in, you can be doing your best and you are not giving the credit that you think you deserve. So if you don't even understand your value, you always enter into depression.
Okay,
So these are some of the realities that people need to know.
Okay, that's true. Let's take on this comment. This person says, good evening to you all in the studio. My name is Esong. I think if I'm correct, that is ESONG. Esong. Okay, so the person says, my worst experience so far in a toxic relationship has been verbal. My partner constantly insults and makes me feel like I don't do anything that pleases her. How can I handle this situation? As of now, I'm in a mess, or what is this? I'm in a mess. I think so. That should be a mess. I'm in a mess, and I don't know if I should move away from this relationship because we are about getting married. And he ends by saying it's kind of discouraging.
No, let the lady answer.
All right.
Let the lady answer.
Okay.
How we advise that man?
All right.
But you
didn't tell us where you're watching us from. Maybe because you don't want us to
I know.
mention
He laughed because he told me that women are more abusive.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Verbally abusive.
Yes.
than
Okay.
the man. You see, so that question, I always say people are not perfect.
Okay.
He may, I always have this person who said, I had this friend who said, you know what, no matter what happens, if my woman, I'm talking because he is a man.
Yeah.
If my woman gives me respect outside, even if she climbs on top of me at home, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
If
I'm sure
you understand
that.
because as a man, he deserves that respect.
Yeah.
So to feel alpha, belonging, and
and all of that
amongst people, and to have that, So he was saying, if she gives me respect, like if she does it maybe with them, because sometimes you can't hide the errors of if you love somebody and they are doing something wrong, tell them. Though there's a way you say it. Because at the end of the day, we all want each other to be happy, because being in a relationship, right, if I don't see any value you have in me, there should be a value, there should be a way I'm growing, there should be a change in growth. Growth probably character wise, maybe status, your financial status, or you understand, there should be a growth, like probably where I am, the things I used to do, the way I used to talk to people, the way I dress or whatever has changed. So to that, if she's doing that maybe with you and there's a way she's saying it, maybe you shouldn't focus on that she is just saying. You should focus on why. Ask probably, why is she always saying that? Check to your actions that makes her say that prompts, and the way she says it. Does she just burst it out? Does she say it in public? Does she disrespect you? But if she tells you, I don't like the way you're always doing, I think it's not a concern for you to get angry, because sometimes we're always very always very defensive with the fact that this person is saying this, but we're not actually getting, and that's another thing of toxic. We are not actually, you don't get the attention to what this person. We are just saying this person is bullying me, this person doesn't want. We are not actually focusing on people's feelings. Sometimes if we stop focusing on what they're saying and start putting
seeing where we go
why they are saying it, where it's coming from, and the way forward, I think you have an answer to that, because that will remain only with you. If she's doing it in a respectful way, she doesn't say it out there, is with you, and the way she
I don't think it's respectful.
I know, Jeff. Apostle, he has been boiling ever since.
No. I don't think it's respectful. You see, it was respectful.
Right.
I will tell you something. This man will not bring it out.
Okay.
My greatest thing that I'm panicking right now is the fact that this man says he's about to marry. That is the thing I'm panicking. We cannot be pampering this thing. This is already get about marriage. We cannot be pampering this thing, because this man is about to enter into hell if he's not ready. If he's not careful. I am telling you. Listen. Let me be very open here.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. What men don't know, and that's why I would like to talk with you, sir, if you don't mind. Not because I want to break that, but let me break something to you.
Can always connect you to him.
Let me explain something to you. A woman does not struggle to submit. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Okay.
There is no woman on this earth, whether in high now, whether in those kind of value, there is somebody she will meet. Are you getting me? And would naturally, I'm talking about, you say stand here. Do you want to believe why it is done?
That's true.
Are you getting me? The problem is we never take our time to find these persons, because for one reason or the other we are forcing things to happen instead of pursuing and let marriage happen. In the Bible, the first marriage that happened, marriage was not the first thing that happened. That's why God did not even put the man and woman in the garden. The first thing was man was pursuing something, and marriage came about because of that pursuit. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. And I want to emphasize on this, and that's why it is better to take your time and marry right than for you to just marry and get into something. I will tell you this: even the most educated woman can submit. The richest woman can submit to somebody who does not have money. No, this is true. So my point is this: whenever I always tell men, when constant disrespect is there, it's a red flag. It means the woman does not trust your judgment. A lot of times it comes, but the woman does not trust your judgment, and that tells you that the woman will not follow your leadership in marriage. It's a red flag.
Okay, let me just come in a little. Now, when you talk of constant disrespect and the woman not trusting the man's judgment, can it come from a place of wrong decisions that the
Yes.
man takes sometimes.
I knew that's where we're going to come. You see, this is very simple.
Okay.
When I say the woman does not trust, this is in no way saying that the man is right.
Okay.
Let's always put things out here and not just argue.
But if somebody is not right and you
That-
try to correct this person,
You are not-
are you disrespecting
You know,
the person?
women are a reflection of what you do to them.
I'm
how
not
you treat
refusing.
them.
Hear my point.
Okay.
You are still right. Please get me.
All right.
Like,
If you constantly disrespect me and you are truly right that I make wrong judgment,
Okay.
it still boils to my point. We should not marry. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? My point is that that constant disrespect is a reflection of something. That woman does not trust my judgment.
Okay.
And this has to do whether my judgment is right or not. Because the woman is supposed to trust my judgment. Please don't get me wrong.
I
I can be wrong in my judgment.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
You also, who knows what you're doing, in the dating process, you figure out that this man is not going where he's saying. And if you constantly fight, so if as a woman, it's the same thing I'll tell that girl. If I was talking about to that girl, I'm not sure that girl was wrong.
Yeah.
If I was talking to that girl, I would tell her and say, if you constantly keep seeing errors in this man, you are constantly trying to correct him until he gets to the point that you think you are the one who wants to lead in that relationship.
Okay.
That's an error. That's not the right person. I don't know if you're getting my point. So my point is, it's a mismatch somewhere.
There's a problem somewhere.
Yes, there's a mismatch somewhere.
Okay.
Because no matter who that man is, he will not be comfortable in a house with a woman who makes him feel like that.
The
How
fact
are you going
that
to marry
he
that?
says they're about getting married.
Yes, that's my concept.
Is it that it's something that just started? Because I don't know. I don't know about.
Yeah, it could be. You know, people can change over time.
No, let's not assume here. That is the reason why he needs a one-on-one. Here we are addressing based on that information.
Yeah.
But the truth there is that to do a better diagnosis, there are things we need to ask him.
Okay.
That's why I made that statement, because if you want to analyze that, like you see, he said he's about to get married. This is the culture I tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Is it? Are you sure it's something that's just starting now? And if
It
it's
should
not
not-
starting
no.
now, why reach up to the extent where you're
We'll
about
go to
getting
get
married? And if it's something now,
You know, these
it
days
boils down to
people
one thing.
marry for wrong reasons and different reasons.
And if it's starting
Yeah.
now, it boils down to the same thing I was saying. Don't check what she was saying. Check why.
Why?
Because if it sinks, then why are you close to getting married?
Yeah.
And if it's now, there should be a reason.
I will also
There
tell you
should be a
something.
reason. Okay.
How guys think.
Interesting.
I'll give you this for free.
All right. All right.
Interesting.
You see, when a guy wants to marry, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about, it's right guys today. When a guy wants to marry, that's when he goes now to his settings and goes now to 12 o'clock. I don't know. He puts his setting at 0.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Most of the time when they are dating, boys are the ones that are dating. When I say boys, unfortunately, boys are just the ones who are dating for fun. How you see, so there are things that they will not take into consideration when they are not planning to make you their wife. Are you getting me? As long as a boy has not made up his mind to marry you, a lot of things he will not consider. That's why you see a lot of times some guys don't care about your dressing yet because they are not your wife. They are not yet their wife.
Okay.
The day they will make you, some of these guys
But they want to make you.
yes, they will start telling you, I'm not comfortable with that. Are you understand what I'm trying to
That's
say?
getting
So
very-
I think
Okay.
it might have got to a point that sometimes some guys are dating some girls that they never plan. If in their mind, this thing is serious. He can't serious past the way you think. Because not everyone is intentional.
Yeah.
So right now, he has decided to get married, and I think he needs some very serious answers because we will not want to celebrate another case of divorce.
Actually, that's where you get cases where people get married and after 6 months they are no longer together. Like,
6 months is too
how
much.
come?
They have
The
called me
next-
after 1 month.
Eh,
After 1 month,
And they
I'm
ate
not
chicken.
doing it again. I'm talking about wedding where drinks were so much that
Surplus.
that people were. It was open a tap.
And you know, I don't know. People also neglect therapy. Yes, they neglect therapy, and also the mindset they go in with. I don't know where. For me, I think this marriage thing is work.
work. It's a lot of work.
When I see it, I just see work. The only thing that comes out work, because if I look at even my parents today till now, I see the work they're
Yeah.
putting in.
Yeah.
How old?
How old
many
are they?
decades? I see the work,
But they
they're
are still
putting in.
discovering new things.
And they are still having arguments.
Yeah.
They still have misunderstanding. To tell you that it's every day you discover another person. Every day you discover, this person. This one is a new one.
Yeah.
It's work, patience.
Yeah.
So I think they go into marriage with, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have
But that's the problem of our generation. They prepare for the wedding, not the marriage.
I'm going to have kids, we're going to be going to work, come back, carry the baby.
All right.
For this, this soft, sweet.
True. Thank you so
look
much.
at it, it's work.
It's work. A lot of work. Just as you say, we are still on, and I'm going to take, I think this is the last comment I'm going to take before we round up. This person says, good evening to you all. Firstly, identifying a toxic relationship. You have abuse. They abuse substances. They don't respect your boundaries. They manipulate others for what they want to their advantage. In terms of validation, what can be done if your partner is always seeking for validation? This is Ice Petty watching from Moliko. Thank you so much, Ice Petty. And somebody just mentioned validation again.
Yes. The worst thing is to have an insecure partner, because I am supposed you two are better than one. It's not one and half. One person is not meeting half. It means you must. I always say this.
Yeah.
You don't marry to be complete. No, it's an error to think that you marry to be complete. Let me explain this.
Okay.
If you know what a car is, I would like to use this example.
Yeah.
There's something called the car radiator, where you put water in that cools the engine. So when you put water in the radiator, it has a fan. It cools the water and then sends the cold water into the engine.
Okay.
So that the engine, since it works, it is hot, it keeps cooling it, then it sends back the hot water to the radiator and so on. Now, it means by virtue of that system of a car, an engine must be connected to a radiator.
Okay.
So picture that radiator engine as a marriage. Are you getting me?
I get you.
So a radiator coming from the manufacturer is complete in itself. It must be. If it is a leaking radiator, it will instead knock the engine. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It means a radiator is not coming to be completed by the engine. Neither is the engine coming to be completed by the radiator. But both of them must be functional, so that they can now complement each other for a greater purpose. In fact, God, let me go deeper than this. God brings two people together in marriage, not even just for themselves. Marriage is not to be walking around drinking small Guinness and big Guinness and matter. It's for a purpose bigger than both of you.
Yeah.
So while you are pursuing yourself, the other person is pursuing herself. So this challenge always comes from where you start needing that validation. No, each other have to be appreciating each other because of the value you bring.
Yeah.
But when you need that constant validation is an issue. When your partner always needs that, it will soon lead to jealousy, it will soon lead to controlling, it will soon lead to manipulation, insecurity, and all of those things will start coming in. And it's a dangerous thing to be with somebody whom at any point you're wondering, what is this person thinking right now?
Yeah.
What is this person not thinking right now? What is this person doing right now?
Yeah.
What is this person not doing right now? That's the danger of that.
So what would you advise? I'm not talking about the person who is
Actually get tired. You will get tired.
Okay.
Because when somebody is draining, it's actually very draining for someone. Like I told you, it will manifest itself in all of these other things ways I'm telling you. In the jealousy, in the controlling, in the manipulation, all of that. So it is very important to be with somebody who knows who they are and understands also the value they are bringing in.
Okay.
So when you are choosing, you should be able to choose somebody who understands themselves.
Experiencing or has witnessed a toxic relationship. If you were to advise that person, what will you tell them? This is where we're drawing the curtains. What will you tell your fellow woman who is constantly being abused, in a toxic relationship, the fights, the quarrel, and all of that? You talk from the man's point of view. What will you say?
It's deep.
Okay.
It's not easy. It's not simple.
Yeah.
If it were, we will not have a lot of cases of probably accident, death, and the rest.